One of the weakest parts of the body is just underneath the sternum. I'm not saying to do it right now, but see if you do that in your sternum, shit's all like. Whenever you do that, do I feel strong right now? I actually do feel strong, but initially you do that, you feel weak, you feel like I don't want anything to touch me. That's because your body's not strong enough. You've hit the sensitive part in your body, and now it's saying, that hurts, I don't want to do that. You go for a swim, you push yourself, you're just banging the water, and you say you can't do anymore, and then you go for another length. You're going to be concerned about drowning, you're going to want to get out, you're going to want to stop halfway. Whenever you can't do those things, like I'm talking about fighting. I've met fucking Chinese people, they stand like this with tops off, with a fucker in front of them like this with a chain, and they're just whacking the fucker. Boom! Boom! And that person's just standing there like this going, psh, psh. Now that's a whole different level. I can't say I do that shit. I would do it, but I'm not around those people. Those are different levels that people push themselves to. Can you imagine standing there getting hit with a chain in the fucking chest area? You create stronger people with the... If you're a fighter, that's one of the best things you'll probably be doing. It just changes your whole view on being able to go inside of a conflict zone. Be it in a ring, be it in a cage, anything. Whenever you're fighting like that, you're going to become a different person. I'm not saying to do that. I'm showing you the war cry. I'm showing you what I do. If I'm about to go somewhere, it's time to step up. That's what I do beforehand. No, you don't do that. The example is, somebody's about to make a sales phone call, you're ringing the toughest client, you're going to have to get through a bunch of people. Don't do that standing there. You do that before you get to the office. But that's something that pumps you up and you feel ready and you're strong to go for. The war cry gets you just ready to go for it. Do something that strengthens you for the day. The person that runs upstairs that couldn't even walk up them, that's somebody who's just done their war cry. I'm saying to do those types of level of pushing. Whenever you can do something that just challenges you that bit, people don't feel enough challenge in life. It's the rock out there. The rocks weren't created. It was parts of land all connected. Things had to hit into it and breaks it up. That's why I say break up the mainframe. If you're focused on one bit of thinking, if your thinking is stuck, like happens to anyone, they just say this is the only way you can do it. Until you break up that, whatever that structure is, you can't think differently. Now you have a bunch of bits you can work on and think. But that's a rough rock. You have to keep hitting it. The more things that you hit against and strengthens and moves and makes a difference, now it becomes smooth. People out there, whenever they see my life, they'll say, well, he runs that very smooth. The only way it becomes smooth though is to roughen up and sharpen all those tough bits. Because if you can't hit them, if you can't get things that challenge, if you can't get things that you push through and go through, you're not going to have that smoothness in life. That's the exact same for your thinking. That's the exact same for being able to go out there and do something that pushes you to accomplish something. We see all those people out there that are great at stuff. You haven't seen the thousands of hours that they've pushed themselves. And it's not just a push. It's, most people out there who don't actually meet people who have went to extreme extents, you don't really see what they went through. The people out there that do run for a really long time, you don't see the way they think whenever there's nothing left there. It's a whole different level of thinking. You can no longer think like the person who says, I'm going to push myself. It's far more, you have to use everything you can to get there. The boxer that goes just beyond limits, it has a goal that they're going towards. The limit that they push themselves to, that's somebody who you'd say they run it so smooth. But you don't see the stage where they push themselves so much that they've killed their whole core. They're standing differently. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to push, and then they're coming back to things not being the best in the outside of their life, and they're having to get those things in check. But that person, one day, people go, well, his life's smooth. That's the person that broke up the mainframe. That's someone who said, I'm going to challenge what we say we can do and we can't do. The people say, you're not going to be able to get that life. And that person pushes through. I want to see more people that excel at what they do. The artists out there, the musicians out there, the painters out there, whenever I say about art, I mean a broad category, not somebody who draws pictures. The artists out there, the people who design things, the developers, I would even say architecture is a real great form of art. Anyone that works in those directions, I want people to step up more, to push themselves more. Any level you push yourself further, there's greater things out there to offer. Whenever I say about athletes, people who are pushing themselves to be great at what it is that they do, I want more people to step up, more people to excel at it. And even if you don't want to do it as something that you go further in life, you're saying there's no way I want to be a great footballer, a great basketball player, a great fighter, a great whatever it is that you're going for, anything it is that you're doing. If it's not something that you want to go for, but you know you can do it now, I'm saying to stick at it and get everything you can out of it. In business, if you're going to be the salesperson, if you're going to be the person that goes out there and creates a big business, if you're somebody out there that's going to create an invention, and that is a tough motherfucker to go for. So if you're thinking you're going to invent something with one thought and a bit of work, it's not going to happen. But if you're somebody out there that's going to do that extra bit, that's something, as you do everything else, you throw in something else you work on, you got to be going all out on that. I want to see more people doing that, more people going towards things that are new in business, the things that are actually better. If you ever saw that movie, The Founder by Ray Kroc, I thought that was a great movie. I thought that was a great example of somebody who may not be considered they're going to be successful. They've got the average job, the average life, but they keep working, and then eventually they create something. But there's too many people out there that created the industries that are making people sick and unhealthy. What about the industries that are making people healthier and stronger? I want to see more businesses like that. What about the inventions that give people the ability to walk again who couldn't walk? Those things aren't created without people stepping up. We're going to get to the stage where we look at all these different things and we say those athletes were at no comparison to where we are a decade in the future. People are going to be doing things that are far tougher, put far more strain on the body. They're going to find better ways to recover. They're going to realize there's so much better ways we can think and we can move. All of those things are going to be a part of people stepping up and pushing themselves. I want to see every single one of you do it. And the only way you can do that is breaking up the mainframe. There's somebody out there that's going to say, you can only do it this way. The boxing coach that thinks you have to train like this to get stronger. You can only train for this amount of hours. The moment you break up that mainframe, you're going to be able to do way more different things. You're going to be able to do things that are far more tough, difficult. It's going to look like there's a barrier right there, there's a challenge right there. You're just going to break through and keep going. But the only way you do that is if you're able to go through the difficult stuff initially, you keep sharpening up what you're doing, and then you get that final product, meaning you're the best that you can be, or you're the best salesperson, or you've got the best business. That's why I want to see more people step up, be strong enough to do it now. Go for it. Do the tough stuff over and over and over again. And then one day you're going to be able to say, I got it. Go for that shit.